Hello, my name is Susan and this is Seaside Stitches, and welcome to my channel. Thanks ever so much for dropping by. This is my Friday sews. It's the 16th of May and I haven't done a Friday sews since February. Lots of things have happened and I'm not going to go into everything that's gone on, but I'll just overview parts of May and just whatever else has happened. Okay, so a Friday sews is usually that we talk about some sewing that we may have been doing or that we're interested in doing, some plans and some makes, or and also a little bit about life. And the hashtag Friday sews was started by Jen today in Jen's sewing room, and I just want to give her a shout out for thanking her for creating this lovely community where you can just type in hashtag Friday sews and you will get hundreds of options. And it's really good if you've dropped by today, because I feel quite privileged to have you with me. So I'll just get started when I've checked the camera. So what have I been up to? I've been doing Me Made May. I took part in Me Made May this year, and I haven't done it before successfully. So in times gone by, I have tried to put on a Me Made garment and then video a little bit of me in that, and then I may have managed that about 3 or 4 times. But this time I decided I would try it on Instagram. I'm not really familiar with the Instagram. I do have an Instagram account and I am Susan Seaside Stitches on there, and I have in the past I have put my makes on, but sometimes it could take me longer to put the make on than it's actually taken me to make it. And I just thought I will try it. So each morning I have put on a Me Made outfit, well, dress or top and skirt, whatever, and Alan has very kindly taken a photo of me in portrait and then in landscape, and then if I change position he does the same again. So I have sets of each one that's for Instagram. I put it on my iPad, I then can edit it on there, and if that goes wrong I haven't lost it in the original photo, and then I upload it to Instagram. Now that could take me the first couple of days I just got a little bit overawed by it, and it wasn't registering that it had gone to Instagram. It wasn't showing on either of my devices that it had been received by Instagram. And so on the first day I had 2 versions of my make because I tried it again, and on the second day I had 3 versions because the same thing was happening. There was a big delay. There was nothing shown up when I tried on the other to look if it was there. It didn't seem to be, and then 4 hours later it would pop up. So I don't know what was going on there, but since then I have mastered it. Fingers crossed. So today is day 16. And the thing that I've been doing is just writing the basics for what I'm wearing, what the pattern was, where I got the fabric, and I'm only putting on Instagram anything that makes me sing, anything that I feel like I wear this because it gives me joy. And that has been great because I have been poorly for kind of in March and April. I did manage to go to Plymouth Frock Tales, and we spent a week, more than a week really. We went down from the 12th and we came back on the Thursday. So Plymouth Frock Tales was on the 15th of March, and we managed to work out a way that I could justify going all the way to Devon to wear a dress that I'd made, and it fit well into looking at another lodge caravan or caravan lodge or whatever that we're going to be living in permanently in our son's garden as an annex. And some of you are already aware of this, and it was going to be a wooden log cabin. It would come in kit form and they would build it on site, and there are you can still have that on the Caravan Act planning wise. And I don't need to go into all the ins and outs because there will be a separate video for this, and I've covered lots of bits of it over the last couple of years while we've been trying to plan this and sort it. We found a new supplier of this lodge caravan that we really like, and it happened to be on the opposite coast from Plymouth, in Devon, a place called Bude. And we hadn't been to Bude since, I don't know, about 40 odd years. and we thought that would be quite good if we stayed between Bude and Plymouth. We could easily access both, and then have a meeting with them at Bude, have some time in Plymouth, finding our way round, and then we stayed in a caravan in a holiday park. And walking down the little field from there, you were right at the beach. Right at the bottom of the field where we've got our caravan. Isn't this beautiful? I've been quite depleted in energy. As I say, I haven't been very well. I've just been impacted by this cold, and it's about its 4th week now, and that's not really causing me any problems at the moment. Maybe you can hear a bit of a strain in my voice, but I'm fine now. But my energies have been really depleted, and so I haven't been able to put up a vlog about Plymouth Frocktails because I haven't had the impetus to give it kudos. So what I've been doing in the last 2 weeks is posting my makes, and I did do a video of week 1, an overview of week 1 and what that meant to me. And the main thing that I've gained from it was helping me get some impetus to get myself up and dressed and look okay enough to have a photo taken, wear something I really wanted to, and then carry on with my day. So we would either do whatever we were doing that day, but most times I would walk up to I'm 5 minutes from the promenade, from the seaside, and I would walk up to the seaside and take just a snap of myself, mentioning what I'm wearing, what the weather's like, would you like to see the sea? There it is. And then I'll see you tomorrow. And that has been my week of Me Made Maze, just on YouTube. So that was just a 15-minute video. I didn't want to be going on and on and on about it for anyone to be watching. There's going to be a lot of those about, and also because I just didn't have the energy to do it, and the editing energy either. So, and I've also got another video ready for week 2 of Me Made May. I don't know which one of these will come out first, the Friday sews or that one. So today I'm dressed in an outfit in a dress that I made originally in this amazing fit pattern, which is a 1537 simplicity. And I'd made 3, this was my 3rd dress that I was making, but I could not get the fit. It's princess seams. I could not get the fit right on the princess seams. And I didn't want to abandon this dress because I really loved the fabric. And when I bought it, it was like, it did remind me of a suite of furniture that we had in the 80s. Very much like a settee and 2 chairs. But I also saw the potential for it being a really nice dress. Anyway, I was limited in what I could use the pieces for to alter it to be anything else, and I did manage to use this dress pattern that I had used before in just some navy spotted polyester jersey, and I managed to cut off the bodice that would have gone down to below the waist. I cut those pieces, managed to get these pieces out of that, and decided where I would cut that off, lifted the skirt up because it was a drop waist skirt, lifted that skirt up to under here, and then joined it all together. And miraculously, eventually, after lots of tweaking, lots of resistance to just being able to let myself have it easy breezy and a bit loose. No, I had to get it fitted right. I had to get it really fitted. So it might look a bit bunched up here. I'm a bit screwed up on the back of this, on this chair here. Over the last couple of weeks as well, we have been, if you've watched me before, you'll know I use the word decluttering or tidying my sewing room. Well, this time it was for real, and we were on a deadline, and we have now had the photographs taken by this estate agent. They have taken the photos, we've signed the contract, we're about to go on the market finally, and that meant I had to do a lot of work in here to get it decent for the photographs, but also to have it ready for if someone wants to come and view. So and I just altered my shelves slightly, and just happened to have the bag that I made from all the scraps of this dress. I made this dress during the pandemic. I was approached by someone that I know who was doing an art project in Fleetwood. Would they be able to use my dress as a submission in a maker's kind of art, well, I can't remember what it was, an art installation, what do you call it? It doesn't matter. I've talked about it loads before, and I'll pop in a picture of the promotional photo I did for that. So the last time we got ready for the valuer to come, we weren't up to scratch with getting all the photos done. We weren't quite ready to do that, but I had this on my mannequin. Well, for now she lives on my mannequin, covering up various pieces of underwear on my mannequin, and she will be going back on there tonight. But this afternoon we are treating ourselves to tea and cake at a lovely garden centre that we go to, and also getting a few more plants to put in my pots outside for the curb appeal. Yes, so I just felt like I'll pop on and say hi to you, and thank each of you for viewing my videos, liking my videos if you liked, if you've ticked the like, and if you've subscribed, and also I would like to make a plea for you to ask you to subscribe if you could. It just helps grow my channel, and I've been YouTubing for 4 years. I just have a small channel. I'm a bit niche. I'm 71. I do my own thing. I don't normally follow the trends as much as most people. I have enough clothes, really. I don't need to sew one other thing. I think that's another thing that I'm getting from Me Made Maze. In the photographs, it's very clear when I do the ones where you can see the back that I should be doing a sway back adjustment. It really doesn't matter to me if there's a bit of loose fabric across the back of my waist, unless there's someone behind me in a queue for something who is actually a seamstress. There's no one else who would know what that is and why that's there. And I have a scoliosis, which means my spine is slightly to the side. And if I start messing about, this is my excuse for not doing it now, is if I start messing about getting the sway back right, am I going to compensate for the twist as well? So I'll just leave things as they are for now. But the main thing that it's given me is to realise that I do need to have some more homemade skirts. Homemade skirts, handmade skirts, Susan made skirts. And that did prompt me to get a pattern this week. And I have also I've not only been auditing my wardrobe as this month has gone on, which I'll do a video about separately, probably early June, if I can manage to do that. Just looking at what I need, what I don't need. And a lot of my wardrobe is made up, a lot of my clothes are from charity shops or thrift shops, if you like. Not because we were particularly poor, but a lot of things I bought were skirts. I had lots and lots of skirts because since 2012 I have a condition called lichen sclerosis, which causes quite a lot of soreness and difficulty in wearing trousers. So I haven't worn trousers since 2012. And so I needed skirts. And at that point, skirts were really few and far between. And I wanted long skirts. So I wanted long skirts, like midi skirts. And it was difficult to find those. And I could find midi skirts that other people had bought, either grown out of, not worn, didn't like. And they were in charity shops. So I started accumulating many, many skirts. And this time last year, I got rid of, I think, 21 garments. Actually allowed myself to get rid of my last 2 pairs of jeans that I still had kept since 2012 but never been able to wear, and you'd call it a trouser suit now, wouldn't you? But trousers and a matching jacket from Next that had been great for interviews or formal presentations or something like that I could no longer use. So I got rid of those. I don't own any trousers. I have no trousers in my wardrobe, in my drawers, anywhere. And I did get rid of quite a few skirts. But I need to be buying. I need to be making some skirts. And I made the Encore skirt from Love Notions Patterns. And I really do like it. And I've got it to fit really well. But it has a side zip. And it has almost like jeans pockets just at the zip. And they create quite a lot of bulk. And I've talked about this in a video before. So I want to look at how I can manage to get a zip right in that area where there is a lot of bulk, and or change the pattern so I put a zip down the back. But in the meantime, excuse me, Pattern Emporium were having a sale. Now, I've also been curating my patterns, and I have been putting them on, I would call it a spreadsheet, really, but it's just a table, isn't it? Because it's a spreadsheet if you're going to then use it for calculating things. But I'm using the Excel spreadsheet software to do that. And it's interesting what I'm noticing. And oh my goodness, although I know that I have a certain pattern in my stash, that I might look for, I didn't know how many indie patterns I have. It's not difficult to recognize how many Simplicity, McCall, Butterick, 4, 5, the big 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever commercial patterns, because I have them out in tubs here. But my others are in folders, in boxes, in various parts of my, and there were 2 packs on here, but now I'm using this to display my By Annie bags and just to keep the room nice and bright and tidy. And so I found out, so I'm looking at that as I get to finish, to complete all the ones that I've got. I need to be very careful about working out, not duplicating things that I've already got something near to. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm doing a lot of waffling here, but so the patterns that have come into my life in this last month, in May, have been bubble sleeve top from Pattern Emporium, and the skirt, which is the Easy Does It skirt. So it's the Easy Does It skirt, and they can be worn together. But anyway, there was an offer on, so I got those 2. And then they were sent off to Jenny Stitches, and they arrived yesterday morning. So they are 2 things I don't have anything like. And I'm being quite discerning about what patterns I buy, what I need, what I don't need. In terms of sewing, I didn't make a new outfit for the Plymouth Frocktails. I'm very much doing use what I have. So I've bought very little fabric. I've bought very few patterns. I'm very boring in that sense. That's what I'm saying, really. I will talk about those another time and another day. But one thing, I think the most relevant thing since my wedding dress and a little outfit that I ran up for our silver wedding, the most relevant garment that I made in April. And we have lost a very important member of our family. And to say goodbye to that person and to commemorate and celebrate their life, there was a very special event, and we became a little community of people who have loved that person, and from different aspects of different parts of their life. And I chose an aspect of their life to represent in my garment. And I'm not going any further than that, but my ability to sew had been quite difficult since I came back from Devon. I'd been started on some medication just before Plymouth Frocktails to manage my blood pressure, and I was finding that it was affecting my concentration and my stamina and just my get up and go, never mind Sojo, just Susan's get up and go. And so when I was saying I used what I have for Plymouth Frocktails, I had made a dress in stretch velvet in the year before, the winter of the year before. And if you follow me for a while, you'll know that I've lost weight because I had to go on a medical eating regime, and a lot of my clothes didn't fit me. So I'd waited and waited before I started dismantling them or altering them or whatever. Anyway, I did a little video to put out at the beginning of March about my process of getting to what I was wearing on Plymouth Frocktails. That shows the amount of effort I put into trying to make that dress fit me, and I really enjoyed wearing it. I did this. I offered the possibility that I may use my yellow Harper cardigan as an evening coat, and I did that, and it was lovely. And during this Me Made May, and I'm doing photographs of myself, I would like to be able to do some photographs of me in that dress, and also to show you the bag that I made. Now, I don't know if it's here. So this is something that I can show you that I made, and I made this in February. So I had this ready on the weekend before we went away on the 12th, and it is called the On The Go bag from By Annie Patterns, and it has a slip pocket there that has got vinyl on, and it's really handy if you're going to a show or something and you can put your ID thing in there. And on this side you can also put on the front, when you take the flap back, the flap has got a zip pocket too. You can take the flap back and you can put that over there. And that can be, you can put your credit card in there or whatever. It's safe in there because it would be covered by the flap. I didn't want that on at that point, and I explain why not in that video if you wanted to look. But I had to use, because I wasn't using that, I had to create something to cover this piece of fabric that's a facing that covers the magnet. There is a magnet in there, sewing magnet, and then I made it crossbody, and I have quite a long, these are my little bits and pieces that were special to that day. And then, so the thing that I did buy this year was 1 meter of fabric in a viscose challis that matches exactly, it's the same design of fabric that the velvet dress is, but obviously it's a different substrate, and I wouldn't have been able to make the handle out of the velvet. So it's got pockets inside, there's some ad lib pockets in there. These are meant to be there. The one at the bottom isn't necessarily meant to be there. And the one at the mesh one isn't meant to be there. There are photos of this on my last video. I'm not going to insert anything today. It really did look lovely. It stood out really nicely on the yellow Harper cardigan when I first arrived. When I was wearing it over my shoulder. I didn't crossbody it at that time. But I am really proud of this bag. So, and it's also got a slip pocket at the back, which you can put your phone in if you like, or whatever you want to put in it. So, I'm happy to show you that, and it feels like I can show you I have been doing something. I tried to concentrate on creating a bodice block, and that had been my present to myself, not to sew. Stop picking up things to sew. You're all right with what you've got, and what you're going to make in the future, you need to have an absolutely good fit for that. The only thing I could really concentrate on was trying to do this bodice block, and I'm going to talk about that in another video anyway, but I'm just saying, and I worked on that, and I managed to get a really good front muslin. So I got the front to be a really good fit, and the back I could not get right. It's just baggy, and I chose to use, instead of doing it from scratch, I've done several that I've done from scratch. I get so far and then I just get fed up. But I did it from a pattern, an actual pattern, a PDF pattern. I cut out the A4 sheets just of the pieces that I needed for the bodice. I altered it. I did all sorts of things from it already being a pattern. And that was a really helpful thing for me to do. I felt really good about that. And again, I'm going to talk about that in another video. But I got stuck on doing the back. I did one first, and I'd done it in a size 12, and it wasn't quite right. So I tweaked that towards a 14 from the front part, and then I got a good fit. So the back I just struggled with, and I did put a mock. I basted a zip in it so that I could see what was going on. Alan took photos of me, the back of it. Then I could see what was big and what wasn't. But then I just left it, and I kept doing bits of it and then coming back and leaving it and doing bits of it. And part of that was my stamina, my inclination, everything. And then when I tried to do this garment that I wanted to make for this special purpose, I just had to go with my own flow and take my time with it. And I spent 3 days altering, not physically altering, changing my mind about which pattern I would use to make this garment. And if you like, I wasted those 3 days, but I just couldn't. I decided, I got patterns out. Yes, I'll do that one. That's the one I want to do. definitely, but I've not made it before, so will it fit me? I don't know. Well, I'm back to the thing about the block. So all that kind of thing was going on in my mind, and I just knew I wanted something very simplistic that I knew would work and I knew I had used before. And I did manage to do bits of it now and bits of it then, and I needed it for the Monday morning, and at 8 o'clock on the Sunday evening, I had managed to finish the whole thing except put buttonholes on it. And there was absolutely no way I was in any frame of mind with any energy whatsoever to tackle doing 5 buttonholes. And there was no way I could have picked it up in the morning and done 5 buttonholes without the stress and the concern and the just disturbance of not being able to sleep because I hadn't got them on. So I allowed myself to wear, it was a shirt, I allowed myself to use it edge to edge and over a top, and I was really pleased with the effect of it. So I have since managed to buy some little frog, I want to call them froglets, little frogs, fasteners for it, and they are perfect. So for the next time I wear it, that's what I will be using. And I've got to just look at how I sew them on by hand. So they are another project that I need to be thinking about doing, but I'm putting no pressure on myself. And that's what I've done since March, since I went away. I've put no pressure on myself to vlog, no pressure on myself to sew. And I've just done little bits here and there. I did think, oh, May, I could do whips away May, get all the whips out of the way. And I've just been just quiet and calm with myself and not doing anything that is at all taxing unless I really, really want to. And that's what I'm looking at. Why do I want to? Why do I need to? If I need to, I'll do it another time. So the priority has had to be tidy this house up. Get rid of what we don't want at this stage. There will be many more declutters, but we have really worked hard, and we are very satisfied with the results. I'll pop in a photo of my sewing room and possibly a bit more. And I do appreciate you being with me. Thanks ever so much. And I am trying to get another 60 subscribers because I really want to get to 1,500 before October, because that would be my 5-year anniversary. So if you are a regular viewer, if you do like my channel, or if you've just popped by, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed. So I'm going to say bye for now, and thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you soon, and sooner than 2 months' time. Okay, bye for now. Thanks again. Susan at Seaside Stitches signing off.